Hey guys, I'm Kohei. Welcome to another video. Today we're gonna talk about Orochi's fate and how it affects Wano's war. In chapter 985, we saw the alliance between Orochi and Kaido crumble. The shogun had his head cut off, but with its importance to the story, I find it unlikely that Orochi died, and I believe he will be very important in Wano's arc. In chapter 929, we saw CP0 negotiating directly with Orochi. The shogun simply stared at CP0, considering himself superior, not fearing them. That's because he was supported by Kaido. In the scene, there are 2 points we need to observe. The first is that Orochi closed a deal with CP0, exchanging weapons for one or more ships. Because Orochi intends to increase his power, and because his alliance with Kaido would take him beyond the borders of Wano, a warship would be necessary. But now perhaps it is a means he will have to try to escape from Wano. The second point is that Orochi now wants Dr. Vegapunk himself as a bargaining chip in the next deal. This reaffirms the importance of Vegapunk in giving someone more power with his inventions and research. But how would someone like Orochi, who never left Wano, know about this? Well, I believe that someone outside Wano ended up telling Orochi that, and that person probably knows Dr. Vegapunk. I believe this person is Kaido. Kaido's backup allowed Orochi to make this kind of demand for CP0. Now that Orochi no longer has Kaido's strength at his side, it would make total sense for CP0 to turn his demands around, making even greater demands on Orochi. While threatened, Orochi would yield to these demands. In chapter 990, we can see Fukurokuju sneaking out. I think it is very likely that he will be the mediator of this negotiation with CP0 and may even be responsible for recovering Orochi. The character Fukurokuju is inspired by one of the 7 lucky gods. Luck is just what Orochi will need. The origin of the deity Fukurokuju is a Chinese tale about a wise hermit who was known to perform miracles. A miracle is just what Orochi will need. But in addition to a possible intervention by Fukurokuju, I think Orochi himself may have a power that prevented him from dying. In Japanese legend, Yamata no Orochi is killed by the god Susanoo. But the legend does not mention Orochi's vital points. It just describes that Susanoo devised 8 platforms and 8 gates as traps for each of Orochi's heads. In the traps, each platform had an alcoholic drink. After getting drunk, Orochi fell asleep and Susanoo cut him into several pieces. We can assume that Susanoo cut off Orochi's 8 heads, but what if only one of the 8 heads was cut off, like the Orochi from One Piece? Perhaps the beast had not died. That's why I think Orochi from One Piece didn't die. It seems too much of a coincidence that he was beheaded when in fact he has 8 heads. Therefore, when reviving or regaining consciousness, Orochi will be scared. From now on, his title of shogun is worthless. He lost control of Wano, lost his soldiers, lost everything. And there is no chance for the Kozuki clan to forgive him. This means Orochi will not be able to take sides in this war. His only chance is to escape. CP0 also has a complicated dilemma. If Kaido wins the Battle of Wano, the chance of negotiating weapons with him is nil. With Kaido defeated, Wano will be again commanded by the Kozuki, and there will also be no commercialization of weapons. It looks like the last chance to explore liquid iron ore is now, but it will all depend on how valuable Orochi will be to the world government. So, Orochi's fate is now between death by the hands of the 9 red scabbard's, prison by CP0, or, if he is very lucky, escape from Wano. In case CP0 protects him based on some interest, this new force on Orochi's side would divide the alliance into 2 fronts. I cannot imagine that the strongest members of CP0 will fight in the war. I don't think Robbie Lucci or Kaku will participate. But I believe that other members will show a bit of this organization's strength. It makes a lot of sense for the 9 Red Scabbards to have their chance of avenging Aden, but it's impossible for them to fight Kaido. Orochi would be a great target for this revenge, and to highlight the Straw Hats who are also unable to face the main enemies in the war, it would be good to place them in this scenario. With this possibility, the war would get even greater proportions. And well guys, that's it for now. I really want to know what you guys think of this theory. Do not forget to subscribe to the channel if you are not already subscribed, and do not forget to give your like and activate notifications to continue following the content of this channel. Thanks for watching and see ya!